It is a bad day to be an Arch Linux user. It is a worse day to be an AUR moderator. So about a day ago, people like VX Underground took note of what appeared to be a compromised package on the AUR. This did get reported up to the mailing list, and this package did get dealt with, and then people on various Discords posted about it with messages like, the ALVR package on the AUR has been orphaned and has fallen victim to an InfoStealer malware attack. If you have this installed on any machine, it is advised that you disconnect it from networking and attempt to invalidate or rotate any keys or passwords on the box that may have been shipped back to home-base. ALVR itself and the ALVR bin package appear to be safe for distribution, but specific to Arch Linux and other distros like Endeavour and CashOS, the from-source ALVR package named exactly ALVR has been compromised. The ALVR project itself is fine, and this is strictly limited to Arch-based consumers of the AUR package. Never forget, there's dangers to the AUR. However, whilst this was bad, and that would have been bad by itself, that was just scratching the surface. That isn't even remotely the beginning. People took note of some other packages. Android Support Repository, Monochrome, Blink and Lib, Perl Set Object, and then another one. Malicious update to GNOME Randa Rust. Whilst it's not super common, it's also not crazy uncommon to see malicious packages found on the AUR. The AUR has very loose controls on what can be published and who can publish to it, so it's gonna happen. The issue in this case, though, is all of these compromises are related. And we know that they're related because every single one of them added basically the exact same thing. It would add a new maintainer of the package, it would modify the contributor tag with a different email, it would add a new dependency, in this case being npm, and then have a post install where it was installing something called atomic lock file. All of these packages did the exact same thing. We know they don't need npm because they never needed npm before, and basically none of these packages have anything to do with npm. And this package was only published a couple of days ago. Thankfully, the GitHub is now gone, and you might notice here, you don't see a description, you don't see anything about it. It now has a security holding on it. Basically, npm knows this is malware, this is bad, this is an info stealer, it should not be installed on anyone's system. They've dealt with it on their side, and also, thankfully, not that many people installed it. It got caught around 317 downloads, so this could have been much worse. Whilst this thread was titled Malicious Update to GNOME Randa Rust, that's not the only thing that was reported here. If we scroll down, there is a bunch of other packages all being listed, all doing the exact same thing. So much so that an additional extra thread was made dedicated to just talking about this issue. And then somebody went and did a thing to go and automatically check, because if they're all doing the exact same thing, checking for it is relatively easy. And they found 408 additional packages that were doing the exact same thing. All of these happened within the last, by the time this goes out, 48-ish hours. This, we're still scrolling, is a lot of packages. And that's not all, because additional ones after that were also found. I know the first thing that somebody is going to ask is, how do I know if I am affected? How do I know if I've installed one of these packages? Is there some, automatic way to go and check? Firstly, have you updated within the last 48 hours? Specifically updated your AUR packages? If no, you're fine. It's not a problem. Just don't update going forward until everything here has been resolved. I'll talk more about specifically what has been hit in just a moment. However, there is work going on outside of Arch Linux in places like CacheOS. There are people putting together a script of all of the package names. I wouldn't recommend just running it like this, but go and download the script, go and run it with bash. This is a cursory check. This is the packages that we know about. There very well could be other things, but there is a script that goes and just checks everything for you. You can just run it yourself as well if you prefer doing it like this. There's also a fish version if you want to do that. If you want to do just a spot check on individual packages, you can do pacman-qi, and then let's say you want to do something like florp-bin, for example, and then this will tell you the last build date and the install date. If this is outside of the range, then it is fine. If it is inside of the range, it doesn't mean it has been affected. If it is not one of the known packages, you're most likely going to be fine. The other thing you can do is run a basic grep command. grep-r for atomic-lock file, and check if it's in your Yay cache or your Peru cache if you happen to use one of these applications. I use Peru. If I check it, there is nothing there. I've not updated for quite a while anyway, so I'm totally fine. If it is not there, most likely you're fine. Everything here is still evolving. I wish I could give you like real clear good answers. We don't have good clear answers yet. I said it earlier, my current recommendation is if you're not entirely sure about what is safe and what is not safe, just don't update any AUR packages over the next couple of days, or at least until the Arch Linux team actually mentioned that things have been dealt with, things have been cleaned up, because right now, things are really messy. Everything's happening on the mailing list. The Arch team, as it currently stands, has not actually made any sort of public announcement on the news feed, which I think is dumb. I don't know why they even have a news feed if they don't use it. Also, whilst they haven't really updated in a while, they've also not made any sort of security advisory either. So, again, I really think there should be a post here, but that is the Arch way. Whilst this is all being ironed out and dealt with, there is an open proposal to set the AUR to read-only mode to make sure no additional things get taken over and, not have more things to clean up. I don't know how this is going to go. So far, people are saying things like, I think this is too nuclear. I agree with making it read-only, but I really feel like there should be exceptions for certain important packages. I can't name any because my memory is horrible, but somebody else can. There's no need. As long as you inspect package builds and verify that the changes are alright, you can keep updating. And this is true. If you check all of your package builds, you can keep updating just fine. The problem is a lot of people are not checking their package builds, and at least 300 people did go and install this malicious package. It seems like only orphan packages are affected. We could pause adoption or introduce a human-in-the-loop approach, though making the entire AUR read-only is too harsh and would affect legitimate packages and established maintainers. I am in favor of the human-in-the-loop approach, where contributors can push a commit to an orphan package, but that commit is not reflected for anyone else, and the package is not officially adopted until moderators approve the commit and the adoption. Now, if in that earlier section you did find that you had a malicious version of the package installed, you installed the info stealer, we do have some preliminary analysis of the malware itself, and I wish I could say there was just an easy script you could run that cleaned everything up, because it's not just a matter of uninstalling the package and you're fine. We're still not entirely sure what it does and the full extent of its capabilities, but this report does have some general suggestions here that you can take right down the bottom here. Detection and response guidance. Treat any host with the ELF executed as credential compromised. Preserve evidence with trusted offline acquisition where possible, especially if root/eBPF execution is suspected. Inspect system and user system units for unknown services with restart always, restart 30 seconds, and executable paths under varlib or user configuration directories. Inspect sysfsbpf for unexpected pin maps, especially hidden PIDs, hidden names, and hidden inodes. Compare multiple processes and socket views. Do not rely solely on /proc/net/TCP or socket diagnostic netlink output if the eBPF rootkit may be active. Review outbound connections, proxy logs, and Tor/SOX logs for access to this right here. Review HTTP proxy logs for temp.sh and post/upload, review local loopback listeners and client sockets. The malware uses 127.0.0.1 as a local redirection/proxy/control layer. Check any of your crypto wallets and various things like that. Review AUR build logs, package caches, NPM caches, and CI logs for atomic lock file, syshooks deps, or NPM lifecycle execution of pre-install. Inspect suspect NPM packages statically, and use ignore scripts or equivalent sandbox controls when package installation is unavoidable. Search cache packages and source trees for unexpected ELF files under source folders, especially source, hooks, and deps, and make sure you go and rotate any of your relevant credentials. That includes your passwords, your tokens, private keys, and anything else that could possibly be caught. Again, we are not fully sure on the extent of what this was trying to do. One thing you might be wondering is, if over 400 packages were affected here, how is there only a couple hundred downloads? Like, yeah, the AUR is not the biggest thing ever, but 400 packages should at least have, like, a download per package, right? Well, there is a bit of a silver lining here. This wasn't a crazy supply chain attack. This wasn't the AUR being compromised. This wasn't something where some crazy attack was done. This was basically abusing the AUR's power against it. So the AUR is for a much simpler time on the internet where having random people connect to a server, yeah, it wasn't safe, but less people were doing so. It was kind of fine. There was a time where APIs on websites, in a lot of cases, were just free. You could just do whatever you want with them. There was a time where there were just FTP servers out there, and you could just download from them, you can just upload to them, and everything was fine. There's a lot more people on the internet now, and there's a lot more malicious people. So what happened here is, on the AUR, there is a concept known as an orphaned package, basically a package that doesn't have a maintainer. On the AUR, there's about 15,000 of these. When somebody wants to go and adopt that package, they basically just have free reign to do so. It's just automatically accepted. You now have the package. The problem here is there's not any controls on this. So effectively what happened is somebody spun up a bunch of new accounts, they took over a bunch of orphan packages, and then updated the package build, adding this npm install command into it, and then getting a couple hundred people, but not that many. And it's only a couple hundred because they're orphan packages. They're packages without a maintainer, and, well, if many people were using the package, usually somebody would go and maintain it. So these are basically dead packages for the most part. That doesn't mean this isn't a really big deal, and there very well could be a package that a lot of people use that nobody felt like maintaining that was allowed to go orphan that could be compromised through exactly this means. But as it currently stands, the packages we know about mostly just appear to be things that you probably weren't using anyway. I would recommend checking through them because maybe there is something. There very well could be, but it's not as bad as it could really be. However, there is a lot of room for the same exploit to be done again and again and again. And literally, as I was recording this, turns out, yeah, somebody's doing the exact same thing. We don't know if it's the same person or different attacker or what it is. This time doing the exact same thing, but instead of using the old package and NPM, they are now using bun. Why bun? Well, the searches we were doing specifically were looking for random NPMs being added into packages, so stop using NPM, go use a different thing, and you're probably going to avoid it, at least for a little bit. Now, everybody's on, like, high alert, so any slightly weird package change that is being made to some orphan package, people are going to spot right now, so they weren't exactly very smart about it, but again, there's 15,000 packages which are orphaned. All of these, if somebody wanted to right now, they could just spin up 15,000 accounts and just compromise every single one of them. There is nothing stopping someone from doing that. Both short-term and long-term, I don't know what the AUR team plans to do here, but I do think this is the time that something needs to change, because this is going to happen again and again and again, especially now that people realize the vector is there. This genie is not going back in the bottle. At a bare minimum, I think there should be at least not being able to spin up an account and then immediately adopt a package, right? Have basic age requirement where it's like, oh, the account is, I don't know, a day old, a week old, a month old. The fact that you can do it after 3 seconds is definitely a problem that shouldn't be there. Maybe be required to maintain another package for X amount of time first. Possibly have some sort of verification system of the person, whether it be a reputation system or you verify their, like, who they are with their email. You know they're a real person. I don't know. Something in that regard. Obviously not like full ID verification. That would be stupid. Maybe have it be where if somebody wants to adopt a package and they're not an established maintainer, there needs to be a human in the middle where you try to adopt the package and then somebody comes along and says, oh, I think this is a good maintainer. I think they're doing a good thing. You're allowed to maintain it. And then maybe there is some sort of like monitoring process temporarily, and then when you show you're doing a good job, then things are going to be good for you. You can just take it over. That is going to require a lot more AUR moderation. I don't think a human in the middle approach is going to happen just because it's a lot of extra work, but I do think at the very least those like automated, not allowing accounts that are 3 seconds old, not allowing accounts that haven't done anything on the AUR before, just adopting anything. Maybe also, if a package is orphaned for an X amount of time, don't remove it from the AUR, but archive it. And then someone who wants to take it out of the archive, then they have to be a verified maintainer, or they have to have like a human in the middle approach then, right? Like, the amount of people that are going to want to adopt some random orphan package from 7 years ago, I think is far fewer than, you know, more recent things. That's for the AUR, but as an Arch Linux user, now is as good a time as any to remind you, you should check over your AUR package build, especially right now. If you're going to be updating at all right now, check your package build. Even if you think it's probably safe, just check it. Be safe, and things are gonna be fine. Hopefully there is some sort of proper announcement from the Arch team, but considering prior cases of malware on the AUR and various other things, I highly doubt it. So check out the Arch Linux subreddit, check out the CachyOS forums, the EndeavourOS forums, check out the Chaotic AUR, and they'll probably have more information. On the note of the Chaotic AUR, if you use that, they have not found any malware on there, because what they do is, firstly, they don't really have any orphan packages, but secondly, they do go and actually check each of the package builds before they bring that new version in. So they have been doing that verification already for you. Maybe something slipped through, but it seems like they're fine. Honestly, I wish I could get better answers on what is happening and exactly what you need to do, but all of this is evolving currently. This is more of just a warning, and just keep an eye out for things, watch the mailing list, watch the forums, and just don't update things blindly over the next couple of days. Maybe don't update blindly ever, but at least over the next couple of days. Anyway, if you liked the video, go like the video. I uploaded this on a time that is definitely not when I normally upload. Don't expect uploads on these days normally. But yeah, I just wanted to get this one out. So if you like the video, go like the video. Let me know if you're affected, if you're one of the couple hundred people, but hopefully you're not. So if you like the video, go like the video, go subscribe as well. And if you really like the video and you want to become one of these amazing people over here, check out the Patreon, subscribe, Silly Bear Pay, linked in the description down below. Hopefully my voice didn't crack too much. I've got a bit of a failing voice right now, so I didn't want to be recording video right now, but somebody wanted to go and attack the AUR on my weekend or on my Friday, so we're here anyway. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Bye-bye.
Something like this.